New success strategy number 12, take a break. And I'm really excited about this. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've spent more time on this success strategy than many of them, and I've also been practicing it a lot. Right now, I'm practicing it. I'm on vacation. I'm in Denver, Colorado, with my daughter Elizabeth, her husband Andy, and I'm helping them. They just bought a new house, and well, it's not a new house. It's actually a very old house. About 50 years old, and they've just fixed it up so well, and I'm helping them fix it, and I'm got my work clothes on, and been cutting doors and hanging doors, and I've just been having a ball. So I'm taking a break, but right now I'm taking a break from my break. And my job right now is to inspire you to take way more breaks in every area of your life. And in areas that you maybe didn't even consider taking breaks before. My job right now is to inspire you to even take better breaks, longer breaks, shorter breaks. So what we're going to do is we're going to examine the length of breaks. We're going to examine the things you can take breaks from. I'm going to talk about the purpose of breaks and ways to optimize breaks. So this is all about breaks. And I just think that breaks are really valuable. And sometimes we think, well, you get the old, you deserve a break today. But I don't recommend that you take breaks because you deserve it. Although, of course you deserve it. I recommend you take deep, full breaks in every area of life to improve all those areas of life. If you're working, you take a break from work to improve work. If you're eating, you take a break from eating for a moment to improve the savoring of the food. So whatever you're doing, you build in a lot of breaks. Not because what you're doing isn't pleasant. You build in the break to make it even more pleasant. There's a little bit about breaks. Now, first of all, I want to talk about the length of breaks. And I'd like you to write down a couple of areas where you think you could start to take some breaks. So just write down in your notes, just write down on something you could take a break from. All right. Now write down next to it how long you might take a break from it. How many hours or days or weeks or months. About how long might you take it. Now, I want to get a couple of quick examples. So several of you real fast, press 2 on your keypad. I'm going to call on several of you real quickly, and I want to hear some examples of what break you might take and how long that break might be. Pete, go ahead.
Teaching yoga at Yoga Works and taking a break for a month.
Okay, a month-long break from work, particularly work at yoga. Thank you. Jean, what's the break and how long?
Well, I'm taking a load banking or sabbatical break, and it'll be for about 6 to 7 months.
Okay, so again, a work break for many months again. Thank you, Jean. Somebody else, give me another example of what you might take a break from and how long that break might be. A couple more examples. What might you want to take a break from and how long might that break be? Get a couple more examples. What would the length be? All right, Barb, what would you take a break from for how long?
Well, I just decided last night that I'm taking a break from reading the news for a week.
All right, great. Thank you. That's a good one. I didn't have that on my list. Sherry or Dea, what break and how long?
This is Sherry, and I'm going to take a break from my garden for 2 or 3 weeks.
All right. Thank you. Rosemary, go ahead.
I want to take a break from my wanting to connect with my son for a week.
Yes, I really like this. Taking a break from our desires. Because sometimes we take our desire and we take it too long. We just stay with it and with it and with it. So you can even take a break from your desire. Now, the breaks so far you've talked about are weeks or months. And now I'd like you to think about dividing that by 10. So if it was a week, then it's maybe just a day. Or if it's 2 weeks, it's maybe 2 days. Or if it's a month, maybe it's just 3 days. Or even shorter. Now consider dividing that by 10 again. Because what I'm recommending is that breaks can be weeks long, but they can be very useful when they're just minutes long. So please think of whatever you thought of taking a break from, and now think of taking a much, much shorter break than you just thought of. Yeah, I think 5-minute breaks can be extraordinarily healthy and effective. Now, whatever it was that you wrote down, because most of the examples you gave were in weeks, but now let's multiply the length of your break by 10. Because I also think that multi-month breaks and even year-long breaks can be extraordinarily healthy. A lot of times people say, well, I just don't have time for a break. I claim that's never true. You always have time for a break. You know, to say you don't have time for a break is like the hairy lumberjack. One of my favorite pictures of this lumberjack out in the woods trying to cut down a whole lot of trees. But he won't stop to sharpen his axe because he's in too big of a hurry. And of course, we want to be able to sharpen our axes. And that's what I claim breaks do. So anyway, that's the first idea, is to vary the length and then look at every area of life. Now we've mentioned a few, but now I want you to expand in 3 domains where you might take breaks. First domain is in the domain of action or doing. Of course, you could take a break from work, but I really do believe it's important to take a break from vacations, just like I'm doing right now, because I think your vacation will improve when you take a break from it. I even think it works great to take a break from marriage. Tricia right now, my wife, is in London visiting our granddaughter, and I know a lot of couples, when they're apart, they talk every day or talk long. Well, one of the things when Tricia and I are apart, we don't visit much. And it's not that we don't love each other, we really love each other. It's just that not visiting creates even more missing. It's like the old idea of how can you miss me if you don't leave? How can you miss me if I don't leave? So take a break from the relationship. Take a break from exercise. The list is up on the screen. Housework, from parenting, from any routine. Of course, take a break from your email. Take a break from sleep. If you're tossing and turning, get up and take a break. Take a break from fun. Oh, for sure, let's add a few more, Alejandro. Take a break from relatives. Take a break from friends. Take a break from fighting. So these are all people or actions that you do, but now I want to go into the domain of having, not the domain of doing, but the domain of having, because I'm also recommending in this domain you take a break from food. Of course, you want to take a break from alcohol at times. You want to take a break from maybe even showers or fancy living. The purpose for all this is so you appreciate them more. Take a break from your car. Take a break from your closely held points of view. You could even take a break from your spiritual practice. It doesn't mean that you're throwing it away. You're just taking a break. So these are the domains of circumstances, but I want to look at one more area. I'm really, again, doing my best to inspire you to take breaks in areas that you've never taken breaks before. So now, take a break from being. Like for some of you, you worry a lot. Just take a break from it. I know I've been worrying about this. I haven't solved it, but I'm going to take a break from worrying about it. I'm not going to worry about it until tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Or if you're really worried about it, I'm going to take a 10-minute break from worrying about this, just so I know I can. Take a break from being so serious. Or some of you might want to take a break from being so funny. Or even generous. I mean, I think it's great to be generous. Some of you are so generous, but how about a break once in a while? Take a break from being on call. Some of you are on call a lot with your friends, your family. All right, my job has been to inspire you to take breaks that you hadn't even thought of. Now I'm going to be quiet for 30 seconds for you to write down either some of what I listed that you now want to take a break from, even if it's a short 5-minute break, even a 1-minute break, or a 10-minute break, or a 2-hour break, or a 2-day break, or a 2-month break. So just write down some of those areas. This is really the same exercise I had you do before. I'm just asking you to do it again, given that you've got all these examples. And I'd like to see if you can list some that I haven't already talked about. I'll be quiet for 30 seconds while you write where are you going to take a break and for how long. Begin. All right, I'd like a few more examples. Please raise your hand. Hit one on your keypad. I'd love to hear from all of you during this call. What might you take a break from and for how long? These are just real short. Just hit one on your keypad. Give me a few more examples. The purpose of giving the examples is to inspire others for what they might break. You can even take a break from being healthy. That's what I'm doing this day. I got a cold yesterday, so I'm usually healthy, but instead of thinking of my body as having a cold, I'm just thinking of this as a break from being healthy. And it's going to be a short one. I'm determined. Barbara, what's another example?
I'm taking a break from complaining about traffic noise during this big car event in Detroit. I'm taking a break from that for this weekend, which is when it's occurring. I'm not going to complain.
Oh, thanks, Barbara. And please, a whole lot of you write that one down. Not necessarily car noise, but taking a break from complaining. Wow, that would be really nice for the people around you. Give me another one. Mary, go ahead.
Hi, Dave. I am going to take a break from my critical voice of myself. I just have a tendency to really be hard on what I am and what I'm doing, and that I'm not doing it better. And so I'm gonna let that go, and I'm gonna start with doing that for 1 minute and work up to maybe 10 minutes a day, or a time, several times a day.
I love this, Mary, because I believe that if you demonstrate to yourself that you can take a break for 1 minute, and I think you can. And if it's hard, then you take a break for 30 seconds. And then each day you increase that break, pretty soon you'll realize that you're in charge of that critical voice. Because otherwise it feels like you're not. When you take a break from something, it helps you be in that self-responsible, grounded being. Thanks a lot. Lily, go ahead.
I'm going to take a break about worrying for the future.
All right. Yeah.
For 1 day.
Yeah. 1 day, no worrying about the future. I love that. All right. Thanks a lot. Now, the reason, and you might want to write some of these down, we'll put them up on the screen, but the purpose of taking a break is increased productivity, creativity, and appreciation. So, first of all, when you take a break, you can be way more productive, no matter what. You can have a better meal, as I mentioned. You have a better vacation. You can have better work when you take a break. Every time I pick up a magazine that talks about a lot of computer work, they suggest taking a break from the screen. They suggest doing that at least twice an hour. It only has to be a couple of minutes to look out at a distant object. So you're increasing your productivity. Also, the break increases your creativity because it varies your routine. Whenever you get into a routine, it really is the crush of creativity. When you take a break, you also increase your own appreciation for whatever it is that you were doing. I know I surely appreciate, even more than I did 2 days ago, body that functions well, that's not stuffed up, because I'm having a little break from a healthy body. All right. Well, now I want to very quickly give you some attributes of a great break, and then I'm getting the chance to get into groups again and share what you're learning. First of all, a great break, I recommend it's very purposeful and intentional. And if it's going to be a very long break, I recommend you write down the purpose. Literally write it. Because when you are very intentional about the break, it's more likely that you'll have it. Secondly, that it's scheduled and timed. So before you take it, tell yourself when you're going to take it and how long you're going to take it. Now, of course, it's okay to take a spontaneous break, but I'm recommending that a really great break is planned in advance so you can anticipate it, and so you'll get more out of it. And then you will get more out of it if it's timed. Literally, I like on a timer. Say, okay, I'm tossing and turning here at sleep. I'm going to get out of bed and take a break from sleeping. And I'm going to take a 5-minute break. So you get out of bed, you go and have a 5-minute break, then you come back to bed to resume sleeping. Also, a great break, you change your environment. You go into a different room, or you go into a different body position, or you go into a different part of the room, or you change your clothes. You change your environment because it helps you break. The fourth attribute is it's shared with others. In other words, you tell people that you're on break. Either tell them just like with English, or you tell them with some kind of a sign. Like you put a do not disturb sign on your door. If you haven't got a do not disturb sign yet for your work or your home, please get one. You can get one at a stationery store. You can get one at a hotel. A lot of hotels will be happy to give you one because every time you use it, it advertises to you, their hotel. It's not like stealing. It's like constant advertising. Let people know you're on break. And it's focused. So when you're on a break, just be on a break. And if you notice that you're drifting, bring yourself back to your break. The last attribute is that it's guided. So really either guide yourself or have somebody guide you. On several of the audio tapes for Falling Awake, I guide you in relaxation breaks. That's a great way to have somebody else guide you. There's a lot of tapes you can buy to guide you to relax. There's tapes you can buy to guide you to sleep. But there's power in letting someone else guide your break.